spectacular about him.
Hey, but I say this though, and this for y'all. This is for y'all. One of the greatest things that could ever happen to you is a loss.
Yeah.
Sometimes one of the best things
Regardless
that
of what Floyd Mayweather is convinced all of
is
y'all.
a loss.
Regardless of what Floyd Mayweather his how he's tricked the game and made everybody think that being undefeated is what matters. No,
That's a fact.
No, because it's for me, it's more important to fight the dogs and to lose than to avoid the dogs and to stay undefeated.
And you know what?
Till the dog wait till the dogs. You need to be put down to fight them.
I actually think this undefeated ideology that these boxers are taking on is what's really hurting the sport.
It is because everybody now they're scared to lose.
Yeah, man.
And nobody cared about that.
Let's talk about this scared to lose shit real quick, right? Mm-hmm. You can't be scared to lose. You just got to go out there and you got to hunt. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. But at least you got out there. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
You can't be scared to lose, and you can't let one guy who went. First of all, let's talk about this. He went 50-0, right? Rocky Marciano before him for years was 49-0.
Yep.
With 43 knockouts, and nobody ever
43 knockouts.
Very few people who consider Rocky Marciano the greatest fighter of all time. And dig this. Rocky Marciano knocked out Joe Louis. Mm-hmm. He knocked out Ezra Charles, and he knocked out Archie Moore. Now, if you know anything about Joe Louis.
Archie Moore was my boy.
Joe Louis, top 5 fighter of all time.
That's a fact.
Archie Moore, top 20 fighter of all time.
Boy.
Ezra Charles, top 25 fighter of all time. Now, outside of Manny Pacquiao, you can't name a top 25 fighter who Floyd beat. So if Rock beat 3 and you barely beat 1.
You want to put De La Hoya in there?
Top 25 all time?
Top 25?
Absolutely not.
Zab Judah?
Not even top 50. No.
Zab Judah not top 50?
No, I could name 50 fighters right now greater than Zab Judah. All time. We talking about all time. We talking about from 19. We talking about a 200-year-old sport. Remember?
In his weight class, though.
In his weight class?
In his weight class.
What did he fight? He didn't even fight Judah in his weight class. Judah's greatest weight class was at 140. Yeah. And Floyd's is at 130. Yeah. So, I mean, no, Zab's not a top. He's not in the same class.
He got to be top 50, bro.
No. Zab Judah?
Zab Judah got to be top 50.
No. And see, this is what
in his weight class.
In his weight, I don't know. He fought in junior welterweight. 50 greatest in junior welterweight, which is his greatest weight, but he fought Floyd. He's definitely not one of the 50 greatest welterweights.
No, I can't.
Junior welterweight, and that's a deep division.
But I love Zab Judah, though, man.
Yeah, Zab.
That nice left hand.
Fighter. Congratulations to Zab going into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. He deserved
Hall of Fame.
He deserved that Hall of Fame.
I think he deserved that Hall of Fame. 5-time world champion, so definitely deserved. But yeah, the undefeated thing, and then we look at the fighters who are the greatest of all time. Sugar Ray Robinson, right?
Yeah.
Won his first 46 fights in a row, lost 1.
Julio Chavez, too.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a minute.
He was 80-0.
89-0. Should have been 80. It should have been 88-1. It should have been 87-1 because we saw what happened with Pernell Whitaker. Yeah. But still, and he got. I mean, and you know, we've done some research over the years with Julio, investigation into his record. There were a lot of fights on his record that you say, come on, man. Like, for example, after he beat Meldrick Taylor, if you look at his record, his very next fight after he beat Meldrick Taylor in the fight where Taylor got robbed, where he should have won, but Richard still stopped the fight. After that fight, he fought a guy making his pro debut. Now, you're talking about a guy 68-0 fighting a guy with no professional fights. Like, that's
Hold on, man. We got to go back. Wait. We done ran past everything.
No.
Hold on. We got to go back to this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford.
Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back. Because it's a lot of excuses right now. Have you been hearing the excuses?
Yeah, I've been hearing excuses. I've been hearing a lot of the excuses. I've been hearing that he didn't.
I believe they kind of valid excuses too, though.
Well,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Let's talk about it. If
you fly out of a car going 117 miles per hour, bro,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about that because. Okay, he
been shot in the head.
He flew out. Yeah, exactly. He got shot in the head, and in a sport where you get hit in the head, he got shot in the head and the neck, and drove himself to the hospital. Here's the thing about Errol.
Shit I ever seen.
Errol, he could have suffered, some neurological damage, maybe.
Yeah.
But here's what was important to remember. He didn't break a single bone.
Didn't they have to do something with his jaw?
Maybe his jaw, but he didn't. No, he didn't break a single bone. That was what the report said.
That's crazy.
He didn't break a single bone.
God was on his side.
He didn't break a single bone. Let's talk about this. Like we didn't hear any of this talk when he had a few fights.
He fought Ugas.
He fought Ugas and retired
Danny
him.
Garcia.
He fought. I think he fought Garcia before the accident.
He fought
Ugas. Yeah, he did fight Danny Garcia after the
yeah.
accident.
Danny Garcia
He fought
after
Sean Porter before, but he fought Danny Garcia after. He fought Ugas, and we didn't hear none of that.
And I don't know if he get past Porter after that accident. I ain't gonna lie to you. He had to be everything, every bit that he was to get past Porter, man.
Well, yeah, that could be true. But, I mean, let's look, and then let people talking about, well, he's struggling to make weight. Man, did you see both of them, like, right after the weigh-in?
Boy, like action figures.
Both of them looked like they was about to die. Like, I was scared for Terence Crawford. He was standing up there like this.
Yeah, but both of them look like action figures.
Yeah, they did. They was they was so hungry, bro. They needed a meal.
That's a fact.
But
Terence Crawford say he already at 160 something.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. He too light. Now when you walk around 160,
exactly.
Man, he didn't have a chance.
Then you gotta lose all that weight.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But one of the things I want to say about like the excuses, I hear people say, "Well, he don't look like himself." Yeah, that's because he was in primarily because he was in with Terence Crawford. Like Julio Cesar Chavez was 87-0, and people were saying when he was in against Pernell Whitaker, "Oh, he don't look like himself." Yes, because he's in with Pernell Whitaker. You can't throw a blanket on him.
No.
You know what? I mean, Joe Frazier didn't look like himself against Foreman because he was getting hit by George Foreman.
That's a fact.
Foreman didn't look like himself against Ali because he was in there with Muhammad Ali.
That's a fact.
That's what happens when you in with another great fighter. You can't look like
it's
yourself.
It's a clash of the greats.
Yeah, man. He was in with another great fighter who had the skill set. And I'm going to just talk about the skill set of Terence Crawford because for me, that's what made the difference between him and Errol Spence. Errol, list of great fighters that he fought. Kell Brook, good fighter. Chris Algieri, good fighter. Mikey Garcia, good fighter, but really small. But all these fighters have one thing in common. They never presented Errol with anything that will force him to have to make an adjustment.
That's a fact.
When you go back and you look at Terence Crawford, there's a fight I want to point to that to me is the most intricate, is the most pivotal fight in his career. And that was a fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Yes.
Yuriorkis Gamboa was the Cuban amateur superstar. I mean, superstar. He was 23-0. He was a top 10 pound for pounder. He was 23-0. Terence was 23-0. Yuriorkis was coming up a division. I think he was jumping a division to fight Terence, or two divisions, but he was jumping up the division to fight Terence.
Right.
And early on in that fight, he was giving Terence Crawford
He
blues.
was.
His hands were way faster.
So peep this. You remember I was telling you Terence meet a punch with a punch.
Yeah.
Now Gamboa, he throws in 2s and 3s.
Yeah, his hands are way faster.
He throws in 2s and 3s.
Way
so
faster.
Terence was Terence Crawford was getting hit with them second and them third punches.
He was getting hit. Yeah, you're right, because Gamboa was finishing the exchange.
Yeah, he was.
His hands were way faster because he was a naturally smaller guy.
Yeah, but so he made that adjustment.
Was the first time we saw Terence turn left-handed.
He made that adjustment.
He turned left-handed because when you're left-handed, the punches are longer. It takes the punches longer to get to you.
Exactly.
When you're fighting a righty, it takes the punches longer as a southpaw, which is why so many southpaws are defensive wizards take the punches longer. So he could see those punches coming a little bit clearer. It took him a little longer to get there, and it was an advantage for his longer arms. It gave his longer arms more time to get to the punch, to get to Gamboa, and he finished a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. And for me, that's the fight. And fights like that, where he's had to...
That was an exciting fight.
It was a very exciting fight.
That was exciting.
It was the most exciting fight in his career for me. Fights like that where you have to... They force you to do something different. They force you to say, okay, this is not working. I got to do something else.
Yep.
This isn't... let me make it... Terence Crawford learned then, and from that point on, he learned then, I'm not ever going in one way. I'm going to always... spend and if you heard him talk about doing a fight, Terence Crawford's a guy that takes time to get going because he learned in that fight, I am going to study you and I'm going to find the way to beat you. I'm going to study you. I'm not just going to go in here and just try to use all my attributes. I'm going to study you and I'm going to discover which attributes I need to put to use tonight.
Exactly.
And I'm going to use those to beat you.
He has tools.
He has a deeper tool chest. He has a senior mechanics toolbox. I run a BMW European repair facility, and you have these guys who have their toolboxes, but they're starters. They can do a few things.
Yeah,
but
that's
then
a
you
fact.
got that master tech.
Yeah.
Who got the box that stretches across the whole
He got
ball.
all the drawers in
Yeah,
there.
he got all the drawers.
He got all the drawers.
Terence Crawford has a master tech's
Yeah.
tool chest.
He do.
Bud Crawford has a pretty big tool chest, but Bud started digging in that third and fourth drawer.
Hey, man. Say, man.
Yeah.
That right there. And so, look, I like to talk about climbing in the window, right? Mm-hmm. So, Spence, anytime you go to the body, man, you leave an opening for somebody to climb in that window and spin that chin.
But he's been a pro for so long. He's so conditioned to being able to go down there without any meaningful reinforcement.
Hold
like
on.
he's got
you
hit.
got to say it again, because that's another thing, conditioning. When you condition yourself to be able to just to keep doing one thing and you successful at that one thing,
Right.
you could be successful at that one thing, but you're going to run into somebody that got something for that one thing.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? For that one punch, whatever you got going on, somebody got something, especially if they watching footage of you. If they watching footage of you and you can't show them that you multidimensional, it's going to be a problem.
And see Bud and his team, props to his team, Bud Crawford's team, because as soon as the fight started, the minute the bell rang, I just started laughing. And everybody's like, man, what you laughing? I was like, man, he just took the first chess piece off the post. I said, what you mean? I said, he came out left-handed. I said, what's
Wait a minute. Before we go there, he came out with Eminem.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You know.
Hey man, look.
Yeah, no. He was playing chess, bro.
Say man, when I seen him come out with Eminem, and you know Eminem, he got that he got a way about him.
Yeah.
That'll make everybody.
He get you crunk.
Hey man.
Hey, by the way, black people, stop trying to create revisionist history when it comes to Eminem. You hear a lot of black people, Eminem, you know, now that I think back on it, he wasn't. Nah, stop that. Like, stop trying to create this revisionist history where M is not one of the 5 to 10 greatest MCs of all. Like, stop it. Like,
man, cut that out.
His music didn't age well. Like, neither did Doggy Style. Try playing that around your children.
Al, peep this, right? That's how you could tell if black people racist against black people.
Yeah, for real. Hey, real talk. Hey, you know why I think it's a bunch of bull? Because you couldn't hear none of that talk when M was in his prime. Like, black people was hush mouth. Or look, man, look, talent is talent, bro. But I digress. But anyway, but no. Terence came out. He came out left-handed.
Yes, he did.
Which, if you don't understand the significance of that, Terence is a guy who, because he's ambidextrous, he's the new Marvin Hagler. He fights left and right hand.
Yep.
He's comfortable with whatever side you
stand.
Spence,
he stands orthodox.
No, Spence, no.
Spence
is lefty. That was the significance.
Right.
He's lefty.
Yeah.
And the significance of that is, as a lefty, he has not seen many left-handed opponents. He's used to fighting righties, which means he's used to the jab coming over his shoulder. His jab hand is used to seeing your jab come over his jab hand.
Right.
So he either blocks it or throws his jab inside or outside of yours or the hook. But what Crawford did was came out fighting southpaw, which put the jab
on the inside
closer to Spence. People wonder, why is he having such a hard time with jab? See, now you're seeing jab come from in there.
And then peep this though. You know, Bud said that they worked on that jab all training.
Man, look, yep.
Hey, Tyson said it looked like a battery ram.
Because that's his power hand.
You know that thing that the police used to knock your door?
It's his power. It's the same thing.
It looked like a battery ram.
It's the same thing with Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of people don't know this. Oscar De La Hoya is left-handed. He should have been a southpaw, but his trainers trained him right-handed to put his strong hand in the front. That's why his jab was so hard and his left hook was so hard. His strong hand was in the front. Terence Crawford